Hello one and all, welcome to Cabin Fever Crochet. I'm Helene and I thought I'd come out here, have a little chat, catch up with my channel, what's going on, and with my hand, the shout out, and a new craft I'm starting to get into, see how that goes. So I want to go over all that, but not necessarily in that order. But right now it's just such a beautiful sunshiny afternoon, pretty mild, and I want to take advantage of that, sit outside, enjoy the pretty scenery together with a little tea and you and me time. And all this weather's about to change here tonight with another Arctic blast rolling in. So I hope you're doing well. What have you been up to? What are you working on crochet wise? And I'm curious, what other kind of crafts do you enjoy if you are into others? Whew, that's some hot tea. Okay, so the shout out is with a gal that I have been watching since last year, sometime I believe it was, soon after she started her fiber channel. Her name's Olivia and it's Fiber Fun with Olivia. And as always, with all related content, I'm going to leave the links, information in the drop down description section. I hope you will go over, check her out, give her some love, help her channel grow. She's very fun and lively and unique personality, which I'm really enjoying, and everything she has to share. She does yarn subscription unboxings, make-alongs, and other projects and patterns that she shares and talks about. So I hope you'll check her out. And then I'll go ahead, I'll tell you about the craft, the new crafty thing first, and then I'll talk about my hand, because that's the least exciting thing, you know. But it's information, and then I hope that it might help you from preventing an injury to your hand. And it would have me had I taken my own advice. So anyway, you know, I've been thinking for probably a good year or more at least that I wanted to try paint by numbers. I did that all the time as a child and I really loved it, and I enjoy painting, but drawing is not my forte, even stick people. Funny though, my handwriting, I can do lettering, and I used to do calligraphy, and the pen just flows from my hand, but as far as drawing, not so much. One of these days though, I really want to take a watercolor class, and I know watercolor can be pretty temperamental, can easily turn to mud, but I like playing with color, and I've played around with that for years in all my rubber stamping days. So I like to color, and I figured, like I told a friend of mine, if it turns to mud, I'll just call it an impressionistic style. But anyway, I thought I'd give that a try, because when crocheting, your fingers are bent, and that's very taxing and gets very painful on my hand. And because I'm not able to crochet nearly as much or as long of a period of time when I am crocheting, not even by half, everything's taking me about 4 to 5 times longer at least. Surgery was December 7th, so I really needed an additional creative outlet, different from the jewelry making or anything that takes a whole lot of dexterity and causes my finger to tuck in, because then it cramps and the scar tissue and the tissue itself starts to really tighten. So I thought with painting, maybe I could keep my fingers extended a little bit with that motion. So I thought it might be kind of fun to show you. Oh, and I wanted to tell you that even though I'm not able to crochet as much, I still have projects in the works, and I've been thinking for some other ideas and to get creative with still yarn related content, that things that we can do together in between my crochet projects that I will bring to you also. I ordered 2 on Amazon, and then I picked this one up at Hobby Lobby. It was very inexpensive, but I thought it was cute with the Hang in There Kitty is the name of it, by Paintworks. Dimensions by Paintworks. It's super cute. And then it shows on the bottom, okay, what the numbers look like. And I thought, okay, is that just a little snapshot, or are they all that open? I thought, oh, that would be easy to do where I don't have too many teeny tiny spaces. Oh, and the thing with the paints too, it comes with what is shown, but you have to mix different paints to get the different colors, whereas some of the other ones, they come with all the paints you need, no mixing, so that you know that your color work is going to be consistent. That's very tiny, but I thought that would be cute as a little gift for someone when I'm finished. For a dog. And this came already pre-framed, and I had the choice of getting it framed or unframed, and for $4 or $5 or $6 more, I decided to already get it framed. I got this on Amazon. Here it would help to show you what it actually looks like. And it came in this box, which helped protect it in shipping with some of the instructions on the back. And this is a dolphin and sea turtle scene, and I chose that because, again, more open spaces. I thought it might be easier because starting out, just something to practice and do. And this one is definitely a gift for a very special person who loves anything and everything tropical, especially animals and palm trees, and it has it all, the sea life, the palm trees on the little island and so forth. Yeah, that's pretty much the tiniest right here, so I might have to improvise a little bit. But when I opened it, I went, oh my, I cannot even see some of these numbers. So I ordered a magnifying lamp, and that was a great deal. I got that on Joann.com. It's an OttLite. I've been thinking about getting one for a couple of years anyway, with the jewelry making becoming a little harder and harder to see at times. So I think I'll probably do a review on that one. Also, let me know if you're interested. And yeah, that I'm thrilled with it. I already set it up, as you can use it as a magnifier or just a lamp, and it's more of a ring light type with the LEDs around it. And I used that to film when I did my dewdrop scarf shawlette, and that was great with the lighting. So anyway, this is a different one. Oh, weird, it's a wrong label. It says diamond painting kits. No, it is not. It's a paint by numbers, and it's beautiful. It has sunflowers and butterflies and a really nice inspirational saying. I'm going to see how this works out, because one might be a gift later on, but I don't want to really open it yet. It's just to show you though, you have to be careful. This one is folded, and I don't like that because it leaves creases and lines. So it is a very nice canvas though, I will say. It looks almost has a linen look. I like it. I think it's very good quality, and the numbers are real easy to see, because some that I looked at, like at Hobby Lobby and Joann Michaels, those are rolled, which is better, but some of the numbers were so faint, there's no way. I don't even know if a magnifier would help that much. So this will have to be ironed on the back side with a cloth on top, and probably on a lower setting, enough to get those lines out. So yeah, no more crochet marathons for me. Hand health is just way, way more important. And it's so important to take breaks. That's the thing. Even if you have to set a timer for yourself, every maybe 20 minutes, take a break, stretch your parts, neck, shoulders, back, get up, walk, move around, drink a water, cup of coffee, tea, whatever is your pleasure, and stretch your hands. And I'm going to show you a few that I do that help me, but you can always go on YouTube right here, and there's just so many different, because ones that you can see, I am not a licensed practitioner, so always check with your doctor if you need to before you do any stretching, because certainly don't want to injure yourself or make a situation worse. So yes, back in May, all of a sudden, it's kind of seemed like overnight, but when I track back, Started, I think, more at the beginning of last year. Anyway, after all that and that gripping and that big fat hook was rubbing right across where I hold the hook, and I was starting to feel some tightness in my pinky, and I did not take my own advice, and I did not take breaks like I should have. And since May of 2022, I had not been able to bend my pinky beyond a 90-degree angle. It was stuck. And if I would make it go down or accidentally bump it, let me tell you, that was so painful. It would get stuck and almost feel like I was trying to dislocate. I know it wasn't, but that was so painful. And then I had this bump, which felt like a cyst right here in the palm of my hand. So it wasn't until, I don't remember when exactly, I went to the doctor. I was originally scheduled for surgery at the end of September, so maybe July. I finally got in to see the specialist, and I was scheduled for end of September, but then I kind of, I don't want to say chickened out, but I wasn't quite ready because of the year we had. I just wasn't ready to deal with more stuff. Not quite yet. So I set it for December. Probably waited too long. Oh yes, and I did have a cortisone injection to see if that would help. See if you catch trigger finger is what that's called, in addition to the cyst. So if you catch trigger finger early on and you get a cortisone injection, it can alleviate it. If you wait too long, like I did, it's stuck, and then you need surgery for it to release. I started OT last week. I think I just had my third session on Monday, and that's going really well. It's amazing. No matter how much you may be into health and researching things and know stretches and this and that, going to therapy where they have really specific and targeted exercises for different muscle groups and body parts and injuries, I learned so much. I really, really did, and it's beneficial. I ordered a tool on Amazon last night, which is coming, and she's targeting this portion to help with the inflammation and break up the scar tissue. So she gave me the name, we'll print out, and then when I went home I looked at it, another one popped up that has a roller, a more condensed version. She had one that she had me do, and I saw this, I thought, oh well, that's kind of nice. It's rechargeable and it does everything the other one does, but it covers a broader area, and you can use it for if you have bursitis on your hip or different areas, or some people tension for on the back of their neck and for headaches. And a lot of people left reviews who had knee replacement surgeries with that big old scar, and one even showed a photograph of a measurement of how much it reduced the inflammation over a period of time. So that was super helpful because my husband is having knee replacement next month. And another reason, at first I was just going to do OT, occupational therapy, once a week and get the information, go home, because it's a distance. It's 45 minutes each way, twice a week. I thought if I go twice a week for about 4 or 5 weeks, make that commitment and do all the exercises each day, multiple times as instructed, that will really help accelerate the healing. And not only for myself, but hubby's going to really need my help afterwards also. But that device can be used to help break up the scar tissue, alleviate pain, help with inflammation, and accelerate healing. So I'm excited about that. And you get your choice of 2 pretty colors too. So that's coming. And then, okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you. So warning, warning, it's not really gross at this point. When I had the sutures in, it was kind of Frankensteinish looking, but it looks a lot better, and you could see glimpses of it in my tutorial I just did, and just in a week's time it's improved and calmed down so much. So in addition to what I'm doing, I think that the therapy, I don't think I know, that has made a big difference. So I'm real happy with that. Okay, so if you don't want to see it, avert your eyes. All right, I won't scare anybody. This is not bad though, but it's looking much better. Even, I mean, really, just in the last 5 days, it's still quite puffy, but it's not so red and raw and angry looking. And so she cut the pulley system that, you know, makes your finger, I mean, it's your muscles here that work your fingers, but the pulley inside to release that. And then, so the cut went kind of like a Z for Zorro, like a zigzag, went up and across and up. And it's numb. So, oh, and that tool can help with stimulate nerve regeneration. And this portion was exploratory. It felt like I had another knot here. And I had noticed it when I was in the hospital, just getting ready to go into the OR. And I brought that to her attention. And, oh, God, the thing was, I only had minutes to make a decision. She says, well, is there pain? No, there's no pain. Do you want me to go ahead and go in? Should I say, yeah, go ahead and see, and if there's something there, take care of it while I'm here. But then I thought, if not, then it's unnecessary. And there was no pain. So I had to decide real quick, and usually I would weigh things out, think about it a little bit more. Yes, so it was unnecessary. So now I have this involvement as well, and it is involved. But see, on my own now, look, before really I couldn't go beyond this portion. Sometimes a little like that, but it was painful. So now I can go much farther down. So I have different exercises I'm doing, and making a fist, releasing different ways. And then I have a rather arthritic thumb on this side, so she was very gracious and gave me a printout on some muscles that I can do exercises to isolate this area to help support that joint a little bit. So that was great, really helpful. And so I'm doing different exercises. She has these round wooden beads and spreads them all on a table. And I have to scoop it with my pinky and pick it up. And these are a lot harder than they look, especially, you know, when your fingers or whatever body part's not working as it normally would. It's a lot harder, but it's good. So I do heat, and then I put all my topicals on, and then when I finish with my exercises, I do ice. So before you have pain or the first signs, use some good stretches. Start from the neck down. Another good thing to do is warm your muscles up before if you have a neck wrap. If you have moist heating pads, great. You can make your own and make a rice sock. Just make sure it's a cotton sock, natural fiber, so when you heat it up in the microwave, it's not going to melt it, but you could get like a cotton tube sock. Fill it with rice, just tie a knot at the end, put it in the microwave for 40 seconds to a minute. You can always do it more just to gauge to see how much time that takes. Put that around your neck, on your lower back, warm things up, and then I'm going to show you the topicals. I warm my neck up, put my topicals on, let that set for a few minutes, and I do my stretches. Posture is so important too. The chair that you sit in, to have good support. Doing too much with your neck down, you know, all those things, if you're knitting or crocheting and your shoulders are bunched up, all of that has an impact. It's going to affect everything. But as far as stretches, they're just really easy. You just keep these muscles very stretched, keep them elongated on the front and back, the forearm. Because after the surgery, is interesting, I was getting cramping up in my forearm. But you can bring your hand down again, nothing forceful, just gentle. You'll know, your body will tell you, and you can feel that and how that will stretch this muscle. And then you do it in the opposite direction. Stretch your fingers. You can splay them out, bring them in, splay them out, rub them a little bit, do a little massaging, that type of thing. Those are pretty easy to do, and I'm sure there's tons on YouTube. Oh, I was going to show you the compression gloves, right? And these are by Copper Fit, and I just ordered, Ooh, that's cold sitting out there. I just ordered another pair, and I'll open those and show you. They did change the design a little bit, and it goes by sizing. I have the large, extra large, and this is my favorite so far. I've tried 3 different ones. The only thing, and it's a big thing, is that they're fragile, and the stitching, look at that. About my 3rd wear, and it was too late to return. The stitching came out, and I don't have the dexterity with a teeny tiny needle because it's rather thin fabric. I'll take that off and show you, but I just wanted to show it to you on my hand. So it's infused with copper. It feels good. They're lightweight. I still have mobility and finger dexterity, and so I can still use the tips for finer things, even though I wouldn't say these are sticky. They're kind of rubbery feeling, so they do slow down with the crochet. I haven't had an issue with the yarn getting stuck to it, but it does slow everything down, but maybe that's not a bad thing. And I've definitely, everything is taking me much, much longer, and the crocheting time, I mean, as I'm crocheting each stitch. So I wear it for a little while, take it off, but they're comfortable. I do sleep with them, and I even have a little real thin piece of silicone strip that helps with scar tissue that I can fit on the inside for at nighttime. And it does have a strap to keep that on if you're a real active person, if you're exercising, carrying things, you don't have to worry about it coming off. But see, this is recent. This just happened right at the wrist. Could you even see that? This strap, okay. So right here at the wrist, it's split there too. So that's a disadvantage and a big one. They're about $20 on Amazon. And they're thin though. Like I said, they're thin and they're comfortable, and I have good mobility with them. And I used those at the farmer's market. I had 2 pair, one for doing more like thing where they get dirty, and one for crocheting and sleeping, which is this pair. So because that happened, I had to order another. So let's check these out. I think just the, oh yeah, it's just slightly different where those are lines going across. This is more of a honeycomb type of look. Can you see that? Hopefully. Yeah, so hopefully they'll last a little bit. Then I tried some mostly cotton ones, and I really liked the fabric, but the fingertips were really long, and I couldn't really do anything with them, and they were too big. They did not offer enough compression, but I think the next size down would have been too small and too tight, so those went back. And then at my hand surgeon's office, the PA, physician's assistant, gave me one of these, of all things, by Isotoner. They've been around for just like decades and decades, and they start out with making just regular full-on gloves. Okay, Isotoner. This is a medium. It's what he had. I wasn't sure if it would fit. I figured I would need a large. Yeah, pretty much. But it's not bad, but after a couple of hours, like after surgery, I couldn't wear it. There's too much inflammation, and even now, it's a bit too much compression. After a couple of hours, my hand starts throbbing. But they're not real thick, but if you can see construction, the fingers are really squared off. I mean, it's super well made. They're really quality product, but they're squared, and they're too, they're a little constrictive and cumbersome. That's more the word, especially for crocheting. So that's going to depend what you're doing. I'm sure I could paint easily enough with these and do other things, and my fingertips are free, which is great. But yeah, so it's not my favorite pair, but they're really well made. They are warmer. I wouldn't say they're a little bit thicker. It's just more of a different material, and they just get hotter on my hand, and they're too much to sleep with for me at nighttime. So those, and another nice feature, these are pretty expensive, more so. They were on sale. I think they're on sale for $30 for the pair, And the really nice thing is you can buy one glove if you just have a particular injury or need or have one hand. Then you can just buy one glove, either the right or the left. Okay, so that's that. And then now the topicals. This has arnica in it, and it's homeopathic. And you can look it up if you like, the list of ingredients. They make 2 different ones. They also make a sublingual, under your tongue, oral, but I go with the topical. And I had been using this one off and on for a long time. It's by Tea Relief. It used to be a company called Tramiel, and it's the same product, different name, by Medi, M-E-D-I, Natura, N-A-T-U-R-A, all one word. And this is extra strength, and it's for muscles, joints, and back. And this one is for joint pain and stiffness, but each one has a little bit different ingredients as their main component, secondary to the arnica. So I tried a small one of this, and this one is still my go-to favorite, but I mixed the 2 together, and that actually seems to work even better. And just a little, a piece-sized amount, because I mix my own concoctions. And this is a company called Eden's, E-D-E-N-S, Garden, all one word. And I'm going to leave a link below. And if you go through them, great. I will get like rewards points. When I get enough, then I can put them towards future purchases. If you do it on your own and you go on, that's fine. That's up to you. It's always nice getting the extra points, but I'm not telling you for that. I'm telling you just so for really what helps me. And there's so many essential oils, all different types of uses, and I diffuse them. We have diffusers in the house, and so many different ones. I love this company. Therapeutic grade, top notch, and these are very potent. So you want to get like a carrier oil, which would be jojoba, olive oil, grapeseed oil, argan oil. There's so many different ones, but I have found that jojoba has the longest shelf life, and it doesn't go rancid like other oils can more quickly. So it depends how often that you use something like this. If you use an oil and mix it with other things, use it for other body parts, then you'll go through it more quickly. But their massage therapy is a really good one, even though it's for muscles. It has a lot of good ingredients for pain as well, and relaxing and inflammation. So if you just want to get one blend, I find that's a really good one, but you could just type in pain, inflammation, whatever specific that you're trying to target, and see what they have, and read the reviews. Check those out. And then let's see, that one I use, and I add a little birch to it and a little frankincense. That one I put on prior to doing my exercises, and I really like that combination mixed with these other things. And then for helping with the scar tissue and the skin itself, I make up my own, but Eden's has one called Skin Love, and that's really good for a blend if you just wanted to get one that has a really good ingredient list. And you can even add other things to it. Again, I'm not a doctor. I am not making medical claims. Okay, let's make that clear. Not making medical claims. Just saying things that help me may not be 100% of the time, but in conjunction with other traditional medicines, that type of thing. If you're making your own blends, you can buy dropper bottles, empty ones, at health food stores, either with a pump or a little dropper. And you want to make sure that it is either this amber color or the cobalt blue, and that it's glass, because you want something dark to protect your oils, and glass so you're not having petrochemicals, plastic leach into your essential oils. Oh, and this is a green. Green's fine too. Any dark colored bottles. So that's that. Okay, well, a lot to share. I'm sure this is a lot longer than I wanted it to be, intended it to be, but I wanted to give you some information and hope that if it helps someone out there, then it's worth it. you know, to take the time and share all that with you. It's just trying different ones and seeing what works best, which might change on any given day too. So anyway, that is it. And I'm starting to freeze a little. It sure was nice being out here, spending some time with you. And I appreciate you being here. And if you stuck around for all this, good for you. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever you're doing. Stay well. Be safe out there. Have some fun. And check out Fiber Fun with Olivia. And I will see you soon. Okay, bye.